Hello friends, in this video I am going to tell you about how to implement inheritance model in Python. First let us see what is inheritance. The method of inheriting the properties of parent class into a child class is known as inheritance. A parent class is the class from which other classes are derived. It is also called the base class or a superclass. A child class is the class that inherits from another class, also called as a derived class, subclass or subtype. Remember that inheritance depicts is a relationship among the classes. Means here a derived class is a specialized version of a base class. In this video I am going to teach you about single inheritance, where only one class will be derived from the base class. But before going for practical implementation of the concept, first let us understand why to do inheritance. So the benefits of inheritance are that it represents the real world relationship between parents class and the child class in a well manner. For example, dog is an animal and cat is an animal. Means here we can say that the dog and cat are the child class where the animal is the parent class. Another benefit is it provides reusability of code. Here we don't have to write the same code again and again. We can just inherit the properties we need in a child class. Also it allows us to add more features to the class without modifying it. And the third important benefit is it is transitive in nature. Means if the child class inherits properties from a parent class, then all other subclasses of the child class will also inherit the properties of the parent class. It is depicted in the figure below. Here in the figure you can see that there is a child class which is derived from the base class. Means here a child class inherits the properties of a base class. Or in addition you can see that a child class extends the functionality of a base class. Means we can add some new features in a derived class. So that we can say that a derived class is said to derive, inherit or extend the base classes. So let us start with the practical implementation of the inheritance model. So for this, first let us see how to create a parent class. So any class can be a parent class, and so the syntax is the same as creating any other classes. That is a keyword class followed by the class name. So in this example, I am going to create a class named person with first name and last name properties and the print name method. So let us create a class person. So here I have written class keyword followed by the person. Now let us write the constructor for this class. So here I writing the constructor by using the define underscore init, and it takes the two parameters first name and last name, and we are defining our two properties. So that is a self dot first name is equal to f name and self dot last name is equal to l name. So here we have written our constructor. Now if you want, you can add some instance method in this class. So let us add the method print name. So define print name, and it is printing the full name of the person, first name and last name. Now if you want, you can test this class by creating its objects. So now let us create the object of a person class. So here I have created the object X based on a person class, and while instantiating the object X, I have passed it the first name and the last name. And now by using this object, you can execute the print name method. So here I am calling the print name method by using the object X dot print name. So when this method is get executed, you can see the output is Jot Smith. So it prints the full name of the user. In this way, here we have created the parent class. Now let us create the child class. So to create a child class that inherits the functionality from parent class, send the parent class name as a parameter when creating the child class. So its syntax is like this. So again use the keyword class, the child class name, and in the parenthesis we need to pass the parent class name as a parameter. Okay. Means here we can say that this child class inherits the parent class. So let us create a class employee from our class person. So here I have said class employee, this is my child class, and which inherits the class person, which is my parent class or base class. Currently I am not going to implement this child class, so I have written a statement pass. Now the employee class has the same properties and methods as that of person class, because we have created the employee class based on a person class. So now you can create the object of this employee class. So here I am creating the object y is equal to employee, and I am again passing the first name and last name to this particular while instantiating the object y. Now as this employee class is inherited from the person class, we can also use the methods of the person class. So we can call the print name method, so y dot print name, and when you call this method, you can see the output as it has printed the full name of the employee, that is a from alter. So this is a very simple technique that how we can inherit the base class in a child class, and we can able to access all the methods and properties of this base class. Again here note that when we try to initialize the object of the derived class, it automatically calls the init function of the base class. Here we have not written any init function, but still we have passed the first name and last name, means it is calling the init function of our base class person. Now if we want, we can add the init function in the child class instead of this pass keyword, and thus we can add some more functionality in our child class. So let us do that. So here we are adding the init function in our child class. So again I am modifying my child class. So here in class employee, I have written a init function. So define underscore underscore init, and it takes the parameter first name and last name. But note that when you add the init function in the your child class, this child's init function overrides the parent's init function. This here function overridden has been happened, and hence to use the parent's init function, we need to add a call to the parent's init function. So let us do that, because this first name and last name are the properties of my parent class, and these are already defined. So we are going to call our parent's init function. So that can be done like this: the name of the parent class, that is a person dot underscore underscore init. So now it will call the init function of this person class, and there I pass the two properties, that is a first name and last name. And now we are ready to add some more functionality into the init function of our child class, that is the employee. So let us add the property salary. So that can be added like this: self.salary is equal to salary. Now here again remember that when you are adding some new properties to your child class, you need to add those property names into your init function also. That's why we have added here the name salary. So from here you came to know that the variables defined within the init function are called as the instance variable. Hence this fname and lname are the instance variables of the person class. Similarly, salary is the instance variable of our child class, that is the employee. And since the class employee inherits the class person, so fname and lname are also now the instance variable of this class employee. This employee class has a three instance variable: fname, lname and salary. Again remember that if we forgot to call this init function of the base class, then this instance variable fname and lname will not be available in your child class. So you need to call this init function of the base class. Now let us see how to add the methods in our child class. So here I am going to add the method print salary to my child class employee. So that can be done easily like this: define print salary, and this method is going to print the salary of the employee. So print salary and set dot salary. So now thus our child class employee is now ready to use. So let us test it by creating the object of the child class. So here I am creating the object of the class employee. So y is equal to employee, and I am passing it the first name, last name, and salary. Remember that while now instantiating the objects of this child class, you need to pass all the required parameters. Means now total 3 parameters are required. So first name, last name, and salary is passed. If you want, you can access the method of a base class. So let us print the name from the base class. So here I am printing y.print name. So it will print the full name of the employee. If you want, you can access the method of the derived class like y.print salary. So this is the method of my derived class. And when we execute this class, you can see the output as a full name of the employee, Tom Alter, and salary 45,000. So friends, here we have learned a single inheritance. In my next video, we will learn about various types of inheritance. So keep watching. Thank you.